Welcome one and welcome all to the one and the only Junk Shop Library channel, home of Improv Bible Study, where we read and dissect the King James Version of 1611 from a modern, secular, atheist, humanist perspective. If that sounds like something you would enjoy, then do please stick around. If it does not, well, we warned you. Also, it's the Bible, so this channel is absolutely not for children. Come on in, see what we've got. Stay a while.
I had hair. All right, let me see if I can get removed from studio. Yes, so I don't click on that by mistake again. StreamYard's throwing new little tricks at us. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome one and welcome all to the Improv Bible Study, the last regularly scheduled Improv Bible Study for some time to come. Because old Junk Shop done got themselves an actual grown-up job and will be working actual grown-up bankers hours and will not be able to just randomly go live in the middle of the afternoon anymore. The series ain't going anywhere, especially the Improv Bible Study series. This is the flagship series of the channel. We're on our second physical Bible so far, and we're only in fucking Jeremiah. So, fear not. We will figure out something. Whatever something we figure out would not be figurable-outable without the support of the folks who have visited patreon.com/junkshoplibrary and committed their financial support, their moral support, and their creative feedback, and put up with a whole bunch of my spluttering and stuttering, even more than some of y'all do, for as little as $1 a month. These folks, whose names should be now scrolling at the, there we go, bottom of the screen, have become the absolute lifeblood of the channel and kept us afloat during a challenging period in the life of the library. They, in addition to a couple of anonymous fairy godparents, benefactors, whatever you have to say, who wish to remain anonymous, allowed us not only to upgrade the poor long-suffering computer, but allowed us to move to the unlimited streaming version of StreamYard, and honestly, to keep on going in these troublesome, peculiar, and plaguey times. Thank y'all, one, and thank y'all all. In particular and especial, I have to thank my top 2 tiers worth of patrons, my illuminated manuscript Captain Kimothy, and my genuine calfskin level patrons Bill, and my very first patron, infamous atheist activist Paul Camish. These folks really and truly have gone above and beyond in their support of the channel, and it is immensely appreciated, and it is deeply felt. So just I don't hardly thank y'all enough, and I can't hardly thank y'all enough. But thank y'all. All righty. I see the chat beginning to fill up. We got all manner of nerds and heathens up in this bitch today. Let's see. I see the people I spoke to via text earlier. I see my wonderful wife, Julie LaVoice, joining us today. Good to see you, as always, my love. Harmonica Man is here. Hey, how's it going? How is it going? Thanks, YouTube, says Mark Caesar. Just got the notification that you're live in 30. You ain't missed anything. You know how it is. Let us see here. Mr. Nielsen is in drive mode. Mr. Nielsen will stay in drive mode until Mr. Nielsen arrives at Mr. Nielsen's destination. Also sprach junk shop. And likely Linda as well. All right. And I think that brings us up to the present moment in the chat. So good to see everybody here on this peculiar Friday. Okay, that coffee is cold, and that coffee was scorched before it was cold. Holy Moses, hallelujah. Okay, it'll wake your shit right on up, though, goddamn. Okay. Hey, it is Godless Granny. How are you today? All right. We got to do this, don't we? We got to read more damn Jeremiah. We'll never get to Ezekiel if we don't read Jeremiah. Some days I say bah, some days I say humbug, some days I even say both. Now, where the devil were we? Ah, yes, we had finished 42. Don't go to Egypt, damn it, saith the Lord. Chapter 43. Let's see how seriously the people of Israel take young Jerry's pronouncements this time. Because they've got such a long history of taking him serious. Okay, 43. And it came to pass, then when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God had sent him to them, even all these words, then spake Azariah the son of Hoshea, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there, but Baruch the son of Neriah setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might carry us, might put us to death, and carry us away, captives, to Babylon. So Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces, and all the people, obeyed not the voice of the Lord, to dwell in the land of Judah. But Johanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces, took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men, and women, and children, and the king's daughters, and every person that Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard had left, with Gedaliah the son of Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tapanhes.
Say again?
Tapanhes.
Thank you.
Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tapanhes, and said, Take great... Yo, I hate this book. Didn't we already do this oracle of the signs of the rocks in the... I'm serious. Because I know we didn't do 44, but I really feel like we did this oracle of the stone in the kiln before. I'm so confused by the book of Jeremiah. It's really, really difficult, y'all, to keep track of where one is, because this is not the first time, even assuming I hadn't fucked up and I'm rereading a chapter, this would not be the first time when there's been text literal copied and pasted from one chapter into another, and not too terribly far apart either. I'm so confused. Y'all, can we cheat? Can we just roll with it and acknowledge that God does not want the children of Israel to go into Egypt, that he warned them they'd die if they did, and among other things, he's going to send the ruler of Babylon to overthrow the kingdom of Egypt to serve you right at them afterwards if they do. Because we have done that. I don't know if we've done that in this chapter, but we have literally done that prophecy. Y'all mind if we skip ahead to 44? Old Junk Shop not overwhelmed with the amount of patience that burdens them today. Woo. Oh, fuck you, brain bug. No, you're right. You're right. Every excruciating word. All right. All right. All right. I get it. Okay. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah in Tahpanhes, saying, Take great stones in thine hand, and hide them in the clay in the brick kiln, which is in the entry of Pharaoh's house in Tahpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will send and take Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as are for death to death, and such as are for captivity to captivity, and such as are for the sword to the sword. And I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them and carry them away captives, and he shall array himself with the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in peace. He shall break also the images of Beth Shemesh that is in the land of Egypt, and the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. And that's 43. Now, Lone, if you see this is a beautiful addition, and I was really trying to be good about not screwing it up, but I'm just going to have to start drawing just a little diagonal or an X or some shit through the chapter numbers after we finish them, because this fucking book of Jeremiah is back and forth and repetitive enough without me possibly getting confused, and so gonna do that. Every excruciating word. We got a smite out of it at the very least. 44. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol, and at Tahpanhes, and at Noph, and in the country of Pathros, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed, to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense, and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor their fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearkened not, nor inclined their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the cities of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. Therefore now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, in that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes, that I set before you and before your fathers. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die, from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. And they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there, for none shall return but such as shall escape. And all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers and our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burned incense to the Queen of heaven, and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men, and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, The incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Lord remember them? And came it not into his mind? So that the Lord could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse, without an inhabitant, as at this day. Because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against the Lord, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies, therefore this evil is happened unto you, as at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, and to all the women, hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, Ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, and fulfilled with your hand, saying, We shall surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. Therefore hear ye the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, The Lord God liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil, and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, until there be an end of them. Yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah, and all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose word shall stand, mine or theirs. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith the Lord, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my words shall surely stand against you for evil. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life. And there's 44. Prophecy arguments. All right, says Jeremiah, listen up, ye fuckwits and fuckers, you big dumb stupids, you sons of bitches. Listen up. You done a stupid. Many stupids have you done. You stopped worshiping Jehovah. You left Judah when he explicitly told you not to. You went to Egypt when he explicitly told you not to. You set up camp in Egypt when he explicitly told you not to. And you started worshiping other gods when he explicitly told you not to. Well, they say, here's the thing. We think you got it backwards. Because the way you put it forth, we receive these edicts from God, and if we don't do them, then at a later time, we get all smoked from on high. But we've got a slightly different perspective. Because the way the pattern seems to run to us, what tends to happen is that we worship the Queen of Heaven, and we light unto her incense, and she blesses us. Rain falls from the sky, the crops grow. We do this every season. It's almost like it's a naturally occurring phenomenon. This God of Israel that you keep blathering on about, young Jerry, on the other hand, he doesn't seem to like his timetables. He just likes people to blah, 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 blah his praises, endless and restless and tireless. And he won't let us have no fun. And what does he care if we want to live in Egypt? He wanted us to stay in Judah and get all swept off to Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar or Nebuchadrezzar or whichever one it is that's in charge at the time, because it's real hard to tell in the book of Jeremiah. And mindless, says Lisa. Yes, exactly. All right. So they go back and forth and back and forth. Essentially saying the same damn thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And finally, Jerry gives up. Jerry says, all right, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you and your kids and your wives and your livestock. I've had it. Fuck you all, saith the Lord. Stay here in Egypt. Burn your strange fires. Don't worship God then. You've been fucking warned. You've been warned about as many times as I've got chapters in my book so far. And remember, I'm writing it all down as I go because Yahweh told me to chapters and chapters and chapters ago. What do you mean nobody's listening? I'm just standing here preaching on the street corner like a lunatic with a tinfoil hat and a megaphone. I thought I was supposed to be paid attention to. I'm a prophet, goddammit. Listen to me. Oh, well. Judah's already been overthrown. You just watch what's going to happen to Egypt. It's going to be the same damn thing. Little bitty handful of y'all are going to escape and go back to Judah. That's how it's going to be. Starting to think young Jerry could have saved his breath. He's got to be one of the least effective prophets in all of prophecy time. He prophesies and ain't nobody listen. He don't do no miracles. His big trick so far has been to show that if you take fresh linen underwear and bury it in the ground, when you come back to it later, it's dirty. This is the kind of prophetic word one truly needs to have the one and only true and magnificent God on your side in order to come up with. The word that Jeremiah the prophet spake unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book at the mouth of Jeremiah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, unto thee, O Baruch. Thou didst say, Woe is me now, for the Lord hath added grief to my sorrow. I fainted in my sighing, and I find no rest. Thus shalt thou say unto him, The Lord saith thus, Behold, that which I have built will I break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up, even this whole land. And seekest thou great things for thyself? Seek them not, for behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. But thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest. And that's 45. Poor sad Baruch who's been doing all this writing for the apparently illiterate prophet Jeremiah, is not going to die with the rest of the Israelites. Ta-da! That really required a whole chapter division, didn't it? Probably means we'll never see Baruch again. He's just going to wander off the page, off the stage, and into the wilderness, and we'll never. 46! Something's got to happen eventually, right? I mean, we had the fucking fall of Jerusalem back on Wednesday. Unless the whole rest of the book of Jeremiah is just one giant long fuck off entr'acte. 46. The word of the Lord, which came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Gentiles, against Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, which was by the river Euphrates in Carchemish, when Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, smote in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. Order ye the buckler and shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses, and get up, ye horsemen, and stand forth with your helmets. Furbish the spears, and put on the brigandines. Wherefore have I seen them dismayed and turned away back? Their mighty ones are beaten down, and are fled apace, and look not back, for fear was round about, saith the Lord. Let not the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble and fall toward the north by the river Euphrates. Who is this that cometh up as a flood, whose waters are moved as the rivers? Egypt riseth up like a flood, and his waters are moved like the rivers. And he saith, I will go up, and I will cover the earth. I will destroy the city and the inhabitants thereof. Come up, ye horses, and rage, ye chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans that handle the shield, and the Lydians that handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge him of his adversaries. And the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate, and made drunk with their blood. For the Lord God of hosts hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. Go up into Gilead, and take balm, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. The nations have heard of thy shame, and thy cry hath filled the land. For the mighty man hath stumbled against the mighty, and they are fallen both together. The word that the Lord spake to Jeremiah the prophet, how Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, should come and smite the land of Egypt. Declare ye in Egypt, and publish in Migdol, and publish in Noph, and in Tahpanhes. Say ye, stand fast, and prepare thee, for the sword shall devour round about thee. Why are thy valiant men swept away? They stood not, because the Lord did drive them. He made many to fall. Yea, one fell upon another, and they said, Arise, and let us go again to our own people, and to the land of our nativity from the oppressing sword. They did cry there, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is but a noise. He hath passed the time appointed. As I live, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts, surely as Talbor is among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, so shall he come. O thou daughter dwelling in Egypt, furnish thyself to go into captivity, for Noph shall be waste and desolate, without an inhabitant. Egypt is like a very fair heifer, but destruction cometh. It cometh out of the north. All her hired men are in the midst of her like fatted bullocks, for they also are turned back and are fled away together. They did not stand, because the day of their calamity was come upon them, and the time of their visitation. And the voice thereof shall go like a serpent, For they shall march with an army, and come against her with axes as hewers of wood. They shall cut down her forest, saith the Lord, though it cannot be searched, because they are more than the grasshoppers, and are innumerable. The daughter of Egypt shall be confounded. She shall be delivered into the hand of the people of the north. The Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saith, Behold, I will punish the multitude of No, and Pharaoh, and Egypt, with their gods and their kings, even Pharaoh, and all them that trust in him. And I will deliver them into the hand of those that seek their lives, and into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants. And afterward it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, saith the Lord. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and be in rest, and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Fear thou not, O Jacob, my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee. For I will make a full end of all the nations whither I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. And there we 46. Okie dokie. Well, y'all, I don't know if you've heard, but Egypt gonna get smote. They weren't gonna get smote until Judah decided to hide out there. But now, Egypt gonna get smote. Because God gonna tattle, tattle, tale to the king of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar or Nebuchadrezzar or whichever one it happens to be that's in power at the time, because it's damn hard to tell in this fucking book of Jeremiah. Nebuchadnezzar is going to come stamping down all the way across the burning ass desert, TM, all the way across to Jerusalem, all the way across from there to Egypt. And he's going to leave Egypt desolate and without an inhabitant and a dwelling place for dragons and nothing else besides the dragons, except possibly the unicorns and the cockatrices. They tend to set up camp where the dragons do, at least in the books of Isaiah and Jeremiah. All right. But remember, gonna have a little bit of Judah left over. And someday they'll repopulate Jerusalem, build God an house again. Someday. Someday. A lot of prophesying and not a lot of stuff going on. A lot of prediction, not a lot of action. "47. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before that Pharaoh smote Gaza. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overwhelming flood, and shall overflow the land, and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. At the noise of the stamping of the hooves of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands. Because of the day that cometh to spoil all the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Zidon every helper that remaineth, For the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant of the country of Caphtor. Baldness is come upon Gaza. Ashkelon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself, O thou sword of the Lord? How long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard. Rest and be still. How can it be quiet, seeing the Lord hath given it a charge against Ashkelon and against the seashore? There hath he appointed it. And that's 47. You're starting to get the idea that Jeremiah is just doing a little prophetic freestyling here. Just standing in the middle of some town square in Egypt, just thinking of places and saying, and they're going to be smoked by the mighty kingdom out of the north. Who's going to be coming out of the north? Because that was the direction the magic stew pot happened to be facing the day the word of the Lord came to me to tell all this stuff was going to happen. Just standing in the middle of the town square, saying, and the judgment of the Lord is going to fall upon Munford and Murfreesboro and Hot Springs and Paducah and Monkey's Eyebrow and St. Louis. Every place you've ever been or heard of. Nebuchadnezzar or Nebuchadnezzar or whoever's in charge up in the north right now, they're going to come smite. Smitey, smite, smite. They're going to smite you all. Except for the little remnant of Judah that's going to remain unscathed and at some point just go toddling back home to Judah. Too much prophecy, not enough action. I think we got time for one more. Chapter 48. Against Moab. Oh boy. Against Moab, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled. Kiriathaim is confounded and taken. Misgab is confounded and dismayed. There shall be no more praise of Moab. In Heshbon they have devised evil against it. Come, and let us cut it off from being a nation. Also thou shalt be cut down, O madmen. The sword shall pursue thee. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. For in the going up of Luhith, continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Flee, save your lives, and be like the heath in the wilderness. For because thou hast trusted in thy works and thy treasures, thou shalt also be taken. And Chemosh shall go forth into captivity with his priests and his princes together. And the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, as the Lord hath spoken. Give wings unto Moab, that it may flee and get away, for the cities thereof shall be desolate, without any to dwell therein. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Moab hath been at ease from his youth, and he hath settled on his lees, and hath not been emptied from vessel to vessel. Neither hath he gone into captivity, therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send unto him wanderers, that shall cause him to wander, and shall empty his vessels, and break their bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their confidence. How say ye, we are mighty and strong men for the war? Moab is spoiled and gone up out of her cities, and his chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasteth fast. All ye that are about him bemoan him, and all ye that know his name say, how is the strong staff broken, and the beautiful rod? Thou daughter that dost inhabit Dibon, come down from thy glory, and sit in thirst, for the spoiler of Moab shall come upon thee, and he shall destroy thy strongholds. O inhabitant of Aroer, stand by the way and espy. Ask him what fleeth, and her that escapeth, and say, what is done? Moab is confounded, for it is broken down. Howl and cry, tell ye it in Arnon, that Moab is spoiled. And judgment is come upon the plain country, upon Holon, and upon Jahaza, and upon Mephaath, and upon Dibon, and upon Nebo, and upon Beth Diblathaim, and upon Kiriathaim, and upon Beth Gamul, and upon Beth Maon, and upon Kerioth, and upon Bozrah, and upon all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. The horn of Moab is cut off, and his arm is broken, saith the Lord. Make ye him drunken, for he magnified himself against the Lord. Moab also shall wallow in his vomit, and he also shall be in derision. For was not Israel a derision unto thee? Was he found among thieves? For since thou spakest of him, thou skippedst for joy. O ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities, and dwell in the rock, and be like the dove that maketh her nests in the sides of the hole's mouth. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceedingly proud. His loftiness, and his arrogancy, and his pride, and the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, saith the Lord. But it shall not be so. His lies shall not so affect it. Therefore will I howl for Moab, and I will cry out for all Moab. Mine heart shall mourn for the men of Kir-Herez. O vine of Sibmah, I will weep for thee with the weeping of Jazer. Their plants are gone over the sea, and they reach even to the sea of Jazer. The spoiler is fallen upon thy summer fruits and upon thy vintage. And joy and gladness is taken from the plentiful field and from the land of Moab. And I have caused wine to fail from their wine presses. None shall tread with shouting. Their shouting shall be no shouting. From the cry of Heshbon, even unto Elealeh, and even unto Jahaz have they uttered their voice. From Zoar, even unto Horonaim, as an heifer of 3 years old. For the waters also of Nimrim shall be desolate. Moreover, I will cause to cease in Moab, saith the Lord, him that offereth in the high places, and him that burneth incense to his gods. Therefore mine heart shall sound for Moab like pipes, and mine heart shall sound like pipes for the men of Kir-Herez, because the riches that he hath gotten are perished. For every head shall be bald, and every beard clipped. Upon all the hands shall be cuttings, and upon the loins sackcloth. There shall be lamentation generally upon all the housetops of Moab, and in the streets thereof. For I have broken Moab like a vessel wherein is no pleasure, saith the Lord. They shall howl, saying, how is it broken down? How hath Moab turned the back with shame? So shall Moab be a derision and a dismaying to all them about him. For thus saith the Lord, behold, he shall fly as an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kerioth is taken, and the strongholds are surprised. And the mighty men's hearts in Moab that day shall be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. And Moab shall be destroyed from being a people, because he hath magnified himself against the Lord. Fear, and the pit, and the snare shall be upon thee, O inhabitant of Moab, saith the Lord. He that fleeth from the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that getteth up out of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For I will bring upon it, even upon Moab, the year of their visitation, saith the Lord. They that fled stood under the shadow of Heshbon because of the force. But a fire shall come forth out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sihon, and shall devour the corner of Moab, and the crown of the head of the tumultuous ones. Woe be unto thee, O Moab! The people of Chemosh perisheth, for thy sons are taken captives, and thy daughters captives. Yet will I bring again the captivity of Moab in the latter days, saith the Lord. Thus far is the judgment of Moab. And there's 48. So, everybody ready to get their vacation tickets to Moab? See the sights? Whew. You gotta get smoked. And not just a little bit smoked either. They're going to get smoked with fire and snares and pits and swords and droughts and more fire and all manner of smoke is going to come upon the disbelieving land of Moab. And yeah, then after I was making fun of Jeremiah just standing in the middle shouting at different things he was envisioning on a map, then we actually had a point where he was literally doing that. Around, starting with verse 21, and judgment is upon the plain country, upon Holon and Jahaza and Mephaath and Dibon and Nebo and Beth Diblathaim and Kiriathaim and Beth Gamul and Beth Maon, and upon Kiriath and upon Basra and upon all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. I don't remember the names of any of the other ones, or I'd speak about how they was going to get smote as well. But we hadn't been living down here very long, and I don't know the names of all the towns. It's what happens when you pick young people to be your prophets. There's a reason why it's usually hoary old men, wise with the wisdom of the way of the workings of the world, who hopefully don't use quite that much alliteration. All right, y'all. Well, you know, if God ever gets off his ass and actually does anything to all these people he's threatening to smite, it's going to be an absolutely Schwarzeneggerian level of violence that we get to see here. You think it's actually going to happen? Or do you reckon it just sort of falls through the cracks, happens in between books, and then Lamentations picks up after? I could see it going either way. All right, well, I think that'll do it for us today. We will have not improv. That's what we're doing right now, Junk Shop, Improv Bible Study. We will have An Atheist Reads the Book of Mormon study tomorrow. That's at 6:30 Eastern, which I know is way too late for some of y'all, but it's a good time slot for some of the rest of us. And there's, you know, you can't win them all. We'll be starting the second book of Nephi. Hopefully, it will be as batshit McGillicuddy lunatic bonkers as the first book of Nephi, which was weird as fuck. Sunday morning, or Sunday noon rather, Eastern time, we'll have the patrons only catechism stream. We're working our way slowly but surely through this thing. I do want to say a special word of thanks while I'm talking about my patrons to a couple of folks who have bumped up their support. It really does make a tremendous difference right now. I'm not going to call you out by name, but you know who you are. So thank y'all so very much. And y'all, I think that's all I got. Old Junk Shop got to go do some laundry in preparation for going to do grown folks stuff on Monday. Y'all stay safe out there, okay? And as we always say, before we roll out of here, everybody take care and be safe. Stand against hate. We will see y'all again soon. Keep your notifications on, I guess. Special thanks to my dear friend Brainbug for the intro and outro.